Hey, it's Stephanie from the Beach House with Mo and Steph, and it's the holiday season. So, Mo and I are going to be taking a little break, and we will come back with our next full episode at the new year 2025. But in the meantime, we want to drop a couple of little nuggets here and there. And so, we've been talking about perspective and the way things perceive to look or seem to be. And so I have grown up with a disability. I have been visually impaired my entire life. So as you have a disability, you learn how to, do some little tricks and trades here and there to help you out. So one of the things that I have gotten extremely well at is taking educated guesses. So if it looks, smells, tastes, moves like a certain thing that I think it might be, I'm going to go with that. Maybe it might not always be right. Maybe it might be on. Most of the time, I don't know, I'd say 90% of the, I'm going to give myself more. 95% of the time, I am on it. But then there are those times that I am off. And when I am off, I am extremely off. So here's what happened. I went to California and I'm staying with my mom. And so I'm sitting at the table with her. And in front of me, I see this thing or whatever. And so I'm going through my educated guess mode. And it looked to me like it might have been a pumpkin. And so that's what I went with because it had little ridges and things and a little sprouty thingy at the top. And so I went with a pumpkin. Well, when I reached my hand out to find out what it was not a pumpkin at all. It was a batch of bananas. And so, me being me, I immediately fall out laughing. And my mom's like, what are you laughing at? And I said, well, I thought this was a pumpkin. And she looks with that mother, very concerned look that she gets. And she says, really? That's not good. That's not good. And so I said, well, wait. Let me tell you how I got there. And so I tell her, it's got the little ridge thingies and the little thing at the top. And I said, they have different colored pumpkins because she's like, well, it's not orange. And I said, well, there's different colored pumpkins. And so that's how I came to this recognition. Well, she didn't see it at all. So her thought was, oh, my poor daughter, she can't see. Ah. So she's like devastated. And I'm just cracking up laughing. Well, later on in the day, I go and we sit at the same table, and she's sitting where I am, and I'm sitting where she is. And so she looks at it and she says, you know what? I can kind of see now how you might think this was a pumpkin. And so I'm sitting where she is. And I said, I can totally see how you might have been extremely concerned because from my vantage, all you see is the curve of the banana. And I'm like, I can clearly see from this side of the room that it is a bunch of bananas. But from where I was, no, it looked like a pumpkin to me. And so I'm telling people this, and they're like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And so I told Monique this. She came over to the house, and she's like, yeah, I see where you got that from. Because if your vision is blurred or, foggy or whatever, like mine is, you don't catch all the details. So all you see is a blanket picture. And so from my blanket picture vantage point, it looked like a pumpkin, or very much like it could have been a pumpkin. Well, on that one, I was extremely off. But what it does is remind us that whatever we're dealing with in life, how we handle it depends on our vantage point and how we see it. You might think your marriage is completely over and there's no hope whatsoever for it. But someone like a counselor or a therapist or anybody else can look at it and see, hey, you know what? I could see if you maybe tweaked this a little bit, that you guys could get back on track. I can see that you really have a deep love for each other, but there's just some things that you're not communicating with one another. And so I think you can make this work. But in your mind, this thing is over. We can't do anything about it. Or you might think, I've reached as high as I can go in my career or the path that I'm on in life, and I won't be able to earn any more money than what I am. This is my lot in life, and this is the way it is. But someone else can look at that and say, hey, you could start from here and you could branch out in all these different directions and bring yourself to a brand new level. But you were not able to see that from your vantage point. So that's why it's so important for us to surround ourselves with people who have different thoughts, different opinions, and different vantage points, different experiences, because maybe all the people who had the same background as us or the same life experience as us can't see beyond what we know. But someone who has experienced something else can give you a whole new viewpoint and open your eyes to a brand new world. So where we are in our perspective versus what is true and actual reality can be stark differences. So just because you see something one way doesn't mean that that is the true reality of it. So I want to challenge you to look at other areas, reach out to other people, get other opinions, find other options. When you think you're at the very last point, when you think that I've got it figured out and this is it and no more, I want to challenge you to go beyond that. Do some research, talk to some people, look at some other avenues, and see if your viewpoint is actually real reality. Because 95% of the time, it isn't. There are a lot more doors that can be opened for you that you don't even realize. So I want you guys to take that, and I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. I pray God's blessing over you and your family. And I just pray that 2025 opens up multiple doors of opportunity and blessing for you, and that you are able to perceive them and recognize them as your brand new reality.